welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford, and I have with me today on our show special guest, Cedric Coleman. Cedric is the Utilities Operations Manager for the Utilities Department and has been with the city for over 20 years. And Cedric is also a CPM, which stands for Certified Public Manager. Cedric oversees the day-to-day operations of field operations for the water distribution and sewer collection system for the city of Sanford. Welcome, Cedric.
Thank you so much.
So today we're going to learn a little bit about some of the responsibilities of the utility department and some real important areas that Cedric oversees. Cedric, would you like to talk to us a little bit about, I understand we're doing some smoke testing in the city of Sanford coming up recently here in the next week or two, and we'd love to have our listeners, our residents, learn some more about this smoke testing and not to be alarmed.
Sure. We're actually embarking on smoke testing, which is a method of detecting eye-to-eye and direct inflow into our sanitary sewer systems. That will allow us to help predict and troubleshoot as well as target areas of interest to take direct inflow and eye-to-eye out of the sanitary system. Eye-to-eye and direct inflow are big challenges in any collection system due to the fact that those are waters that goes through our treatment process that costs everybody money that does not need to be treated. So the most economical and quickest way to find a lot of these problems is through smoke testing.
And is the city of Sanford actually performing the smoke testing, or do we have a contractor or someone else?
We actually have a contractor, which is Reese Environmental, that will be doing the studies for the city of Sanford. They have information that we will be posting starting tomorrow in the affected areas that the smoke study will be done. Also, their contact information will be on there. If there's any concerns or questions, Reese Environmental will be the first call to make for them.
All right. And can you share with us exactly what we're talking about, what dates here?
The date that we will actually start the smoke testing will be February the 25th, hopefully concluding by the 27th of February, which is next week. Distribution of communication information will start going out tomorrow at the affected locations, which are the Airport 3 corridor, which is the Sanford International Airport area. Pinecrest 2, which is over by Fire Station 31 on Fire Station 32 on Airport Boulevard in that corridor. The Sanford Plaza, which is currently what is housed where the rental wheel and that plaza is Bravo Supermarket, as well as the Venetian Bay subdivision that's out on the lakefront, finishing up in the North Store corridor.
That's wonderful, Cedric. Thank you for sharing this important information. Now, has the city actually performed the smoke test before?
Yes, we've used this technology in times past. The last session that we did was probably about 5 years ago, and then probably 2 years prior to that in the historical area on our vacuum system that showed us a lot of evidence where we had direct inflow from roof drains and yard drains and such that was causing our run times to be extremely high on our vacuum system.
And what do you mean by run times?
It's at the lift stations when we have to actually pump the influence that's inside of the system. If there's more water in the system, the pumps are running longer, which ultimately drives the cost for electricity, more treatment, and unnecessary waters that are in the system.
And as I understand, if residents do see smoke coming up through their, what could it be, their kitchen sink and other areas, if they do see that, what should they do?
Under normal conditions, you should see smoke outside of any dwelling or building. If you see smoke inside of a dwelling, you need to call Reese Environmental at the number 407-679-5358, or last resort, the city, 688-5090 to report that, because we want to try to document that. That means that you have some sort of internal issue going, and you'll probably be recommended to call into a plumber. Also, if you are a person that's in these areas that will be affected, that has special needs when it comes to breathing or any other kind of condition such as that, please call Reese Environmental, 407-679-5358 to report these conditions, as we will have representatives through the field throughout the entire process that we can make special accommodations for.
And we want to underscore that the smoke is not harmful, correct?
It is not. It is specially designed for this purpose. It has no toxins to it. It's relatively odorless, and it dissipates in a very short amount of time.
But it can be kind of, to see something like that, it could be alarming. So we really want folks to spread the word about this. It's so important. We anticipate we may get calls, but these informational shows and our social media and the door hangers that you'll be putting out, your department, is to get the word out so that folks will be prepared for this service that we're doing.
That's correct. Historically, you'll probably see a lot of smoke coming out through the vent stacks, like I say again, at your homes or a place of business, maybe even manhole covers, clean outs, anything such as that, which is completely normal. You will see a team that's going around that will be evaluating these conditions, like I say, especially clean outs and manhole covers, and after then we will have an implementation of coming in and making these said repairs to try to tighten the system up as much as possible.
Great. And should the public do anything to prepare for this?
Well, most importantly, just more or less being aware and helping us spread the word of this will be going on.
Okay. And you did share with us that if you do see smoke inside your location, to make sure...
That is correct. Please call the number, which is Teresa Environmental, which is 407-679-5358. Or if you can't get anybody there, you can call the city at 407-688-5090.
And it's Reese Environmental?
That is correct.
Can you spell that?
It is, so I have the right information, I'm sorry. Excuse me, R-E-I-S-S is Reese Engineering, I'm sorry, instead of environment, I'm sorry, it's engineering.
Reese Engineering.
That's
those
correct.
That are assisting the city in the smoke testing program.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is there anything else you'd like to share, Cedric, about the smoke testing that's going to be going on, or
more or less, just trying to give information about why we're doing it. Like I said, it's the most economical way of finding out a lot of information relatively quickly. Just being more prepared than afraid if you do see the smoke. That's why we want to make sure that we get as much information out as possible. And if you have any concerns, again, please call at Reese Engineering at 407-679-5358.
Now, what about pets in the home? Should people crack their windows or anything like that? What do you recommend?
Well, as long as their system is tight interiorly, you should not have any problems interior whatsoever. If your windows are cracked and your roof drains or roof vents are actually expelling smoke out there and the wind is blowing, potentially it can come in the house that way. But if you do have smoke that's entering inside of your house, a lot of times it's going to be a dry P-trap, or it's going to be a wax ring on one of the toilets or such that needs to be have some attention to, and that will all be done through some sort of plumber or the homeowner themselves.
Okay, and what we're saying too is that folks, if they find out that they've got some of these smoke areas in their house, they should be contacting their plumbers. It's obviously the responsibility of the homeowner. The city of Sanford can only do so much on the outside, but this will also help folks.
That's correct, because the thing about with sewer gases, excuse me, they can definitely come through those type of vents or whatever, and a lot of times, they're undetected and unknown until they get to toxic levels, and it can definitely cause some other concerns and issues for the homeowners as time goes on. So if that does happen, that's something that definitely needs to be addressed in a relatively timely fashion.
All right. So we'd like to repeat here that the City of Sanford is doing smoke testing on sewer lines. They are conducting a smoke test of the sanitary sewers, and that will be next week.
That is correct.
Cedric? Mm-hmm. All right. And so we wanted everybody to be aware of that and learn something new about what the city does to prevent and prepare for other types of infrastructure needs down the road. So, Cedric, is there some things that you'd like to share with us that you also work with in the utility department that folks would be interested in learning about? Perhaps our meters, our AMR meters.
Sure. Well, I wear a hat with many different titles on it, but one of our other big undertakings are our AMR meters, which is automatic meter reading meters. We went back in 2008 up until 2011 and completely automated our system with our water meters. But just like anything else, the usability life has come to an end, and a lot of the meters have started dying with their batteries. So we will be embarking, as we have over the last 2 years, of rehabbing our system by exchanging our reclaim registers and our potable as well as our reclaim meters, with the anticipation of completely overhauling the system in the fall of this year.
What is a reclaim meter versus
Reclaim is actually reclaimed water that is treated and is used as irrigation. Not every area in Sanford has it, but there are quite a few areas that do have that, and it's distinguished by its purple marking. And if you have reclaim in your area or at your place of business, there should be some signs up that's saying use area reclaimed water in use. It's a very, very great product with, when it comes to irrigation needs. We don't have to use our valuable resource of portable water to actually do the irrigation.
So AMR stands for Automatic Meter Readers.
That's correct.
AMR Meters.
Mm-hmm.
And how are they read?
They're read electronically. I have 3 staff members that have equipment in their vehicles that rides around, at a slow pace and capture reads through radio frequencies when they're transmitting. If not, we have to go out and actually do manual reads, and that's because of the failure of the meters. So a lot of their misnomer is the fact that, my meter's not being read because the meter lid is not being opened. Well, traditionally, we used to have to open every meter to read it, but now because of the new advancement in meter reading, we can drive by and pick up your read and never have to touch your meter as long as it's transmitting properly.
Okay, so it's all electronically done.
That's
and
correct.
If people have any questions about their meter readers, because once you read the meter, that's how you determine what your water bill is going to be, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And if anybody has a question in reference to their readings or want to reread or meet with one of my technicians, please call City Hall at 407-688-5100 and ask to speak with one of the ladies there, and we can definitely set up something with you to come out and explain your readings to you or show you how we read them. We want to make sure that we're charging everybody fair and equitably on the water usage that is there.
And we appreciate that, Cedric. So are they accurate, though? I mean, I want to put that out there.
Yes,
I know there are people thinking about that.
They're deadly accurate. When they're transmitting, we can pick up a very minute amounts of water that goes through there. The average person does not realize how much water they use in the run of a day or a week or even a month. And sometimes your bill can be changed by where your needle reading is. So we bill in the thousands of gallons. So you may traditionally be used to getting a 2,000 gallon month water bill. Well, if your dial is close enough to take you into the 3,000 gallon mark, you will get billed for 3,000 gallons for that month, just because of how the system is set up. And that's just how the billing is. And like I said, if you have a question in that reference to that, you can definitely call and speak with our billing coordinator or our supervisor at 407-688-5100.
And what about the changing out of the system due to the end of a battery life on the? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. There are 2 things we can do. We can change the whole meter, or we can change the register. And historically, we have been changing the registers because the meters are set to have a 20-year lifespan on them, and the registers are only about 10 years. And for an unknown reason, we had a little bit higher failure rate before we got to the 10-year mark. And thankfully, our vendor has been working with us to do generous exchanges and stuff such as that to help, with the cost and stuff on that, and also going and allowing us to change the system out at a whole lot quicker clip to, like I say again, be more accurate and be able to provide information to customers' needs.
And what does the color of the register mean? And what is a register?
A register is the computer of the meter. It is the black dial. It's a black shroud that has a dial on it. That actually where we pick up all our read, but on the inside of that is the computer mechanism where all the information is being stored. They transmit every 11 seconds. So throughout the life of that meter, every 11 seconds, it's giving us information, whether it is consumption, whether it is being counterclockwise, whether it's being tampered with. All the type of information is housed inside of that little device.
Wonderful. So if you're outside and you see our City of Sanford utilities vehicles driving by, just give them a nice wave and a smile.
They would love that.
That would be real nice. Cedric, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners right now?
No, just knowing the difference in what the meters and stuff are, because I know a lot of our customers do have dual systems, which one has reclaim and the other side has potable water. You can always tell that by the color of the registers. The potable water are always white in color, and the reclaim are always purple. Those are the distinctions between the 2 systems.
Great. And folks, you can learn more about this too at our City of Sanford Citizens Academy, the utility department, and Cedric also talk about the water meters extensively in the Academy, and there's more information about that on the city website, the Citizens Academy. But at this time, we welcome you, Cedric, and we thank you very much for being here as well. And
thank you.
We appreciate all you do for the city of Sanford, and thank you again. And there you have it, Cedric Coleman, Operations Manager for the City of Sanford Utilities Department. Don't forget to follow us on social media. That's Facebook, Nextdoor, YouTube, Instagram, and you could find this podcast on the city website hosted by Spreaker. Thank you again. This is Lisa Holder, City of Sanford Communications Officer, signing off.